So could you tell us on what the suspect may have looked like? Any specific details?
I couldn't tell you. It all happened so quickly.
Would you say that they shoved you violently into the bookshelf before stealing your wallet?
Now, come to think of it, yes, that did happen. I remember feeling some sort of pain in my side because of it.
You also said that the victim couldn't have been your own race, is that correct?
Yes, of course, it had to be. I would be able to tell if it was somebody of my own race. I strongly recall seeing someone of a darker complexion run right into me and steal my wallet.
Okay, so we do have a few suspects that we're going to line up for you, and you're going to help me point them out. Suspects, please line up.
And turn.
No.
Okay, so who do you think did it?
No, they just all look the same.
It's okay, take your time. 1, 2, or 3.
I'm gonna go with 2.
2? Yes, we did it.
Hello, welcome back to Social Psychology. Today we bring breaking news about a woman who was falsely accused back in 2018 of a crime that would forever change her life. Michelle was falsely accused of stealing a woman's wallet due to an eyewitness testimony that took place right after the crime. Today, joining us is Dr. Seuss to talk about the crime that went down on that day.
Thank you for having me here. First of all, what went on in the Michelle Williams case is something called an eyewitness testimony, which is an account or description made by a victim or a bystander of the crime that took place. This would be what they observed during that particular incident. Sadly, for Ms. Williams, though, this system is not always entirely resourceful, considering other factors when identifying a suspect that could affect the testimony.
Doctor, can you tell us more about the factors that could contribute to the eyewitness testimonies?
Of course, so what happened was a mixture of a case of own race bias, reconstructive memory, and false memory syndrome. Own race bias is a term where individuals are better at recognizing faces of their own race and less accurate than others. For example, a white individual is more likely to choose someone of another race in a lineup because their features aren't similar to theirs.
And what part do the other two play in this case?
Well, reconstructive memory is when the victim's memories become a little distorted based on new information provided to them. Information about the suspects are given for the intention of helping the victim remember more clearly or fill in the gaps on what happened. It remotely alters what really happens, leading to false accusations. Example, being an officer changing types of verbs or adjectives he or she uses to help the victim remember, such as, did she grab you violently? Or changes can ultimately distort the victim's memory and cause her to store that information as if it really happened. This stored information is known as false memories.
So if these testimonies are not always accurate, why do we keep using these methods, and what can we do to improve them?
I'm glad you asked that question. Well, according to the Innocence Project, there has been over 325 cases of people being wrongly accused due to eyewitness testimonies. Most crimes that are committed are usually solved faster when there is an eyewitness. Due to that, eyewitness testimonies are not entirely reliable.
Well, Doctor, it was a pleasure having you with us today. We appreciate your information over eyewitness testimonies and what we can do to make it more accurate and safer. We'll be back.
According to social psychology, there are some research-based recommendations on how to properly conduct a lineup. There are 6 listed below. 1. Make sure everyone in the lineup resembles the witness's description in the lineup. 2. Tell the witnesses that the person suspected of the crime may or may not be in that lineup. 3. Make sure that the police officer administering the lineup does not know which person in the lineup is a suspect. 4. If using photographs of people, present them sequentially, one at a time, instead of all at once. 5. Avoid using composite face programs. And finally, 6. Don't count on witnesses knowing whether their selections were biased.